There's 21 of them out there. Rose Davies, the champion from the 10,000 metres.
3 nights earlier, Rose Davies shocked the athletics world by winning Commonwealth gold in the 10,000 meters. Now she faced an even tougher challenge, defeating Olympic silver medalist Jess Hull, defending champion Laura Muir, and a field packed with world-class distance runners. Could Australia's newest star complete an unforgettable distance double? Or would her legs finally give out?
So this massive field gets underway then. 12 and a half laps of the track. The wind has eased a little bit from this morning when it was really strong, but it's still quite a breeze across this Scotstoun Stadium as the sun sets over to our left. And I rather think they will be running into the wind each time they head up the back straight, so it could be a slow, meandering first half at least to this race. But is the unimaginable possible? Can Rose Davies make it a double after that astonishing 10,000 metres win 3 nights ago? She's run over a minute faster than her 10,000 metre winning time on Monday night.
Seema stepping in for her round 3 throw here in the Discus final. 57 metres 32 so far. It's good enough to put her in the bronze medal position. Oh, great speed there towards the end of the release. It's going to improve, I think, on her 57.32. She's passed it on the graphic. Perhaps chasing in on Samantha Hall's 59.27. Not with this throw. The Indian athlete's getting better with every throw. .58 metres 65 for Seema. She improves on her own march, stays in 3rd place, and gives herself a buffer over her teammate who's in 4th and edges herself towards the silver medal position.
Rebecca Mangi leads them as they come down below us with 11 laps to run. The first 400 metres was 71 seconds. I wonder if there might be a little bit of teamwork going on here from the Kenyans. She's one of those Kenyans. One of those, I guess, Hannah, who'll be hoping it just stays nice and steady this first half. She won't want it to be quick, and the Kenyans will be aware of that. If they've done their homework, they will know that Hull can be devastating if it's slow over the last 2 or 3 laps.
And just looking here, it's 100 metres left of the first kilometre, so I think it's going to be just outside 3 minutes for the first kilometre. 3 minutes gives you 15 minutes on the nose, so it's respectable here. You know, when you look back at the 10,000 at this point, they were going so slowly through the first couple of kilometres. And I think some of the athletes might regret the surging they had to cope with in that race. There you go, 3:03 through the first kilometre. Mwangi just leading the way. Gabriella Debus-Stafford in 2nd, the Canadian. She could have gone in a mile if she wanted to. And the fact that she's only gone in the 5K makes me think that she's really prioritised her training and her build-up to suit the 5,000. She's very good in her career with 14:44. And the speed she brings from the 1,500 could be interesting.
Ines Fitzgerald of Scotland in 4th place, the crowd loving that. Jess Hull in 5th. The 2 Kenyans, Mwangi leading with Nyaga in 2nd place. Running wide down the outside there is Esther Chebet of Uganda. She's never broken 15 minutes, her lifetime best, only just outside 15 minutes, but she was 4th in the 10,000 here. She's very strong. She's run a quick half marathon, 66 minutes in Malaga earlier on this year. That means that she was probably one of those who'd like to push it along, Chebet. There she is in about 8th place in the dark red shorts and the yellow top of Uganda. Still Mwangi leading. As they come through this time, they'll see 9 laps to go. Debus-Stafford is a 1,500 metre specialist as well. Jess Hull looks fantastic, doesn't she, in 6th place on that yellow of Australia. Right behind her is Rose Davies, her compatriot, I think that's Rose Davies, yeah, just giving one of the Ugandans a little shove there. Cheptoyak, I think, was leaning in on her a bit. You have to protect your territory. It's not in the nature of distance runners to create contact, but if somebody starts leaning in on you, if you're on the inside, somebody starts leaning in on you and trying to get into the space in front of you, and there isn't room, you have to give them a hefty shove to let them know you're there and you're protecting your space.
I mean, 5,000 metre running from kind of on the circuit, what many of these women will have experienced in their careers so far, can be so different to the championship environment. You might be in those fast-paced made races where everyone stays out of each other's way, and suddenly you've got everyone on top of each other. No one wants to give an inch. They're all fighting for their chance to make their country proud, and it's a different dynamic.
So a big pack at the moment, just hanging in there. Nobody has kicked on and pushed the pace at all just yet, but there are Kenyans in 1 and 2. Joy Cheptoyak of Uganda has moved up into 3rd. Still Megan Keith up there in the top half dozen or so. It's the Rwandan vest that's right up there now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're being reduced to single file with 8 laps to go. Kenya in 1 and 2, calling the shots at the moment. 72 seconds that lap. It's not quick. The opening lap was a 71. They've gone 73, actually 73 the opening lap. They've gone 73, 74, 76, 72. So it is picking up a little bit as we approach the middle of the race. And at the top end of the straight here, they will go through 2,000. The first kilometre, remember, 3:03, might well be down to around 6 minutes, Hannah. Well,
I think it's heading through 2 kilometres. What's it going to be? 6:08, so a 3:03 followed by a 3:04. But I do think you're right there, Tim, to call out the different 400-metre splits. Catherine Nyaga has just started lifting in the last couple of laps quite significantly.
Yeah, 3:03 and a 3:01, giving them a 3:05 rather, giving them a 6:08 clocking at 2K.
Samantha Hall, a foul, 59.27, and then another foul sees the Jamaican down in 2nd place. Only Julia Tunks has hit 60 metres so far. That looks great from Samantha Hall, though. Is it going to be further than 60 metres, 67? Looks like it from the superimposed graphics. The Jamaicans the favourite coming into this, 66 metres, 39 this year. She like that, Samantha Hall. 60 metres, 95. She goes into the lead by just under 30 centimetres.
Well, 6.5 laps to go in this 5,000 metres. And the East Africans leading the rest of the field of merry dance at the moment. Though, as I say that, the Aussies have moved into 4th and 5th. Hull and Rose Davies, the 10,000 metres champion, with Ines Fitzgerald of Scotland, only 20 years old, but she's a massive talent. Her coach, Gavin Pavey's done a wonderful job with her down in the West Country. Megan Keith is up in 6th place, excuse me. Behind one of the Indians, I think it's Chowdhury, who is a great steeplechaser, surely has the strength to cope with this. That's a 71-second lap, so they're keeping the pace reasonably healthy, even if it's not super fast. But now there's a bit of an acceleration, there's no doubt about that. Certainly, Caroline Nyaga, 2nd in the Kenyan Championships. She's a 14:30 athlete at her best. Very much world-class. Is winding it up here, and they clearly, Hannah, are aware of the speed of the finishers like Hull and 1 or 2 of the others who have got 1,500 metre speciality.
Yeah, they're definitely not letting the pace slow. Caroline Nyaga, she's got good 1,500 metre pedigree herself, but she's made a kind of semi-move to the roads, really, Nyaga. She's very good over 10,000 metres on the road. I was surprised to see her in the 5K instead of the 10K, but Nyaga certainly won't want to be on the receiving end of the sprint finish you would have seen from Rose Davies in that 10,000 and Jess Hull in all those 1,500 metres. Great to see a move here from Amani Zabayo of Rwanda. Her teammate fantastically in the 10,000 metres. Leon Koru picked up Rwanda's first ever Commonwealth Games with a bronze in the longest race here in Glasgow.
So they're going to come through 3,000 metres here. 2 laps to go, 5 laps to go rather, as they go through there in 9:06. Well, you can work it out for yourself. That's way outside 3 minutes per kilometre. They're on about 15:10 tempo, but the opening 2 kilometres through 3K now in 9:06.9. So that third kilometre, well, it was about a 2:58, 2:59, 2:58.5, something like that third kilometre.
Nyaga looks totally comfortable leading. A nervous look from Joy Cheptoyak up at the screen, maybe trying to figure out who stayed with her. Esther Chebet, her teammate, is right there. And Jess Hull running the shortest line, as is Rose Davies. They pushed the Rwandan athlete off the rail, not quite giving Amani Zabayo any space to get onto the racing line. And Megan Keith just being joined by Hannah Nuttall, and there's a big move as well. The athletes all just trying to vie for position. The South African just nudging herself ahead of the Englishwoman. It's all starting to get going here. It will be a mile to go.
They come through this time and it'll be 4 laps to run. Nyaga leading them a merry dance. Cheptoyak back in third. Now Megan Keith moving up onto the shoulder of the leader and goes past her there with a mile to run. This is clearly a plan she will have discussed with her coach, Ross Cairns. Born in Inverness in Scotland, you've got to be tough to train in the climate up there. And this is a really gutsy run from Megan Keith. 9th here in the 10,000 on Monday night. She's had a great year, including 67 for a half marathon in her debut in New York. That was back in the middle of May. And she's using that strength here. She's running a really smart race. 25th in the World Cross Country back in January, Megan Keith. And she's now separated this 6th from the rest of them. It looks like Hannah Nuttall just struggling there in the red and white of England, back in 7th place, leading that trio, trying to get back to them. Just can't quite get them at the moment. But Megan Keith running with amazing guts here and testing the best of them. The 2 Aussies still tucked in there, and Jess Hull still looking ominously comfortable in 4th.
Caroline Nyaga just swinging past Esther Chebet. These women, it's down to 5. They've responded to this move from Megan Keith calmly and smoothly. A 66 from Megan Keith. That was a massive increase in pace. What do they go from? 71, 72 down to a 66. That's ferocious here for Megan Keith. I think she'll be disappointed with her showing in the 10,000 and wanted to come out in this 5,000 and be a participant in the race, play a bigger part, and she's really doing it here.
Lapping athletes now. Megan Keith in control. Davies of Australia in 2nd place, the champion from the 10,000 metres. She must be oozing confidence. 2:52, that 4th kilometre. It's the quickest of the race by miles. The 3rd kilometre was about a 2:59. A 2:52, that is vicious. And it's gradually whittling them down. We're down to 5. Rose Davies, the Australian who was champion on Monday night in the 10,000 in 2nd, Hull in 3rd. The rest of them struggling in the wake of this assault from Megan Keith. Esther Chebet of Uganda in 4th. Nyaga, the leader for the first half of the race, back in 5th. They come through with 2 laps to run, and Megan Keith is throwing the kitchen sink at this field. A 66 followed by a 69. Let's hope she hasn't tired herself out with that really vicious lap after they went through 4 laps to go. She's got to hang on in there now. 700 metres to run.
It's a long, brave kick for home for Megan Keith, to kick with a mile to go. Perhaps it's the only tactic you can have when you've got a 350, 1,500 metre woman in here. Jess Hull is looking fine. Rose Davies is looking fine. Nyaga is trying everything here, the Kenyan woman, to stay in 4th place. Esther Chebet is just about hanging on to 5th. And there's a charge on from Hannah Nuttall of England as she sees 600 metres to go. Hannah Nuttall, I don't know, I'm not sure she'll be able to get back to these 5, but she's having a go.
This is almost McColgan-esque from Megan Keith. 500 metres to run as they come into the straight this time. They'll hear the bell. Megan Keith gradually whittling it down. She's getting it down to 4 because Esther Chebet of Uganda is struggling there in 5th place. Nyaga, the best of the East Africans, as they come through the bell for Kenya in 4th place, and she's struggling, and the Aussies are still there. She cannot shake off the 2 yellow vests of Rose Davies and Jess Hull. Jess Hull, remember, with a mile race in her legs from this morning. But Megan Keith may have done enough to get a medal, because Nyaga in 4th and that red of Kenya with 300 to run is about 8 metres back. Ugandan in 5th place. Esther Chebet looks beaten as well. But Megan Keith keeping the Aussies at bay here, or are they just biding their time? Jess Hull looking ominous there as they go through 200 metres to run. They kick away past Megan Keith, who's got to hang on now. She's got to try and go with the Aussies. Stay ahead of the charging Ugandan in 4th place, Esther Chebet. Has Rose Davies got the audacity here, the 10,000 metre champion, to beat Jess Hull? I'm not sure she has. It's side by side. It's like the Aussie Championships, and Rose Davies giving it everything here. And the 10,000 metre champion is going to do the double. Unbelievable from Rose Davies there. Hull takes the silver, and Megan Keith comes through for an absolutely brilliant Scottish bronze. The whole stadium punching the air on their feet. And what a run from Hannah Nuttall's come through for 5th place behind Esther Chebet, the Ugandan, in 4th place there. Wow! The final kilometre, 2:45 after a 2:52. And it was all down to Megan Keith, who ripped the field apart with a mile to run. It was one of the gutsiest runs I've seen by such a young athlete in all my years. She's 24, she has a massive future. She's already had an incredible year there as Megan Keith, and she takes the bronze in the 5,000. But the Australian rolling wave of fantastic performances continues here with 1 and 2 in the 5,000 metres, and that has to be the story of the week in track and field. Rose Davies, double gold at 10,000 and then 5,000.
I think I always love seeing, whether it's in 5,000 or in 1,500, the strength kick versus the speed kick. We know Jessica Hull is faster. She's run so quick over 800 and 1,500 metres, but that all goes out the window when you step up to 5,000, and just sometimes the strength overcomes the speed, and Rose Davies goes for another flag here. She's the first Australian ever to do the 5,000, 10,000 double at the Commonwealth Games. And Jess Hull had a real go, and I think Hull had every right in that last 300 to think this is fine. At some point, I will get the better of Rose Davies, but the determination of Davies down the home straight was absolutely phenomenal. And just a word on Megan Keith, she was so disappointed with her 10,000 earlier on in the week. She was down in 9th place in what on paper is her better.